So today I'm coming at you guys with a much requested video. I'm sharing with you guys my studio desk setup. That includes my audio setup for everything producing, as well as my video setup for how I shoot these videos. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned. Welcome back, creatives. I'm Jahrell, your music technologist, here to help you master the tech you need to make music freely. I make weekly tip and tutorial videos as well as product reviews on all things music production. If you enjoy that kind of content, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to catch the next one. So, as I'm sure you noticed by the title of this video, today I'm sharing with you guys my studio desk setup. I just want to give you a couple quick disclaimers and we'll get right into it. First, everything you see here is constantly evolving. As certain things need to be leveled up, I level them up and replace them. Some of the things here are new, some of the things here are old, but none of it is dysfunctional. So the stuff I use it until I can't use it anymore. And of course, I like to experiment with new gear and things like that. Just know that not everything is state of the art, but this is what I use and it served me well. And of course, there will be links to everything I used in this video in the description. Without further ado, let's jump in. So basically my whole desk setup is inside of a modified closet within a bedroom. And it actually is like the perfect size, the perfect space, and it allows me to throw in some cool LEDs along the sides over here and around the bottom and all the way up around the top. But anyway, straight into the desk setup. I've got my notes right here to help me get through all the gear in the right order. We'll start with the desk itself. It's a white desk. It's very minimal. It's a white top with very thin wireframe legs. It's from Kohl's Home. It's a 47-inch white desk. And then mounted to that desk down here is the brains of the operation. This is my hyperdrive USB-C hub. So I have two of these. One of them is in my everyday carry bag and the other is mounted right here. Now plugged into that USB-C hub is an HDMI cable over here, which is running to this monitor right here. I definitely don't think you need a curved monitor for an iPad setup. It's kind of unfortunate that the iPad Pros don't allow you to take up the full screen of a 16:9 monitor, but I happen to already have this curved monitor. It's a 1080p monitor, and that's what I use. So I kept it and added it to my setup. So back to the gear. Running into the hyperdrive hub here is a USB-C power cable, and it's running into this right here, which is it's an Anker 30-watt compact charger brick, and it's really clutch for the iPad. So what I was running into before when I was using my iPad on this desk setup, I was using it with the power brick that comes with the iPad, and that's only an 18-watt power brick. So running that as well as all of my gear, it wouldn't allow my iPad to fully charge while running all the gear. So a 30-watt charger has been great for being able to power everything and be able to charge my iPad at the same time. So the next thing on the list is over here. It's my M-Audio mobile pre interface. Now you guys might know that, those of you that know audio might know that this is a pretty outdated audio interface. And you know, this is going to be the theme that you're going to notice for a lot of the gear I have here. It's a hodgepodge of things that I've upgraded, things that are super modern, super new, also things that are tried and true. So old stuff that has stood the test of time that I haven't needed to upgrade yet. If I don't need to upgrade it, why upgrade it? So I might get a new audio interface in the future. We'll see what happens. But for now, the M-Audio Mobile Pre is holding me down. So plugged into that audio interface is my studio microphone over here. This is my Blue Spark. I've had this microphone for quite some time. It's attached to a Neewer boom stand with a pop filter over the front of it. Those of you that know this mic might notice that it is totally black, which is not the normal color for this microphone. It's usually orange and red. I'll throw a picture of it up somewhere. But when I was in college, I actually took it apart and custom spray painted it and all that, but that's why it looks different. It is still the Blue Spark. Next up is the headphones. Also plugged into my audio interface are the Audio-Technica ATH-M50Xs. A solid set of headphones. These are some headphones that are accepted as industry standard. The best thing is that they're more affordable than many other professional level headphones. The best thing to me is that they have a really flat signal response, which means nothing's blown up, the highs aren't blown out, and the lows aren't overdone, and they have a really good sound for mixing. So those are the headphones I use. You've probably seen them in the videos. Moving on. The speakers that I have are nothing special. These are the Mica MB42Xs. I got two of them up here on the desk. Right above that is my sign. It's one of my favorite Bible verses, along with a picture of a viola. Those of you that have seen my videos know I'm also a violist. And, you know, having a good Bible verse on there reminds me of why I do this. So there you go. So my studio monitors actually aren't USB powered. They are running into an amp using old school speaker wire and everything. So I'll show you under the desk what I've got going on down there, and that's where the speakers are being powered. So let's go. So down here under the desk, now I know it looks like a crazy mess under here, but I run all these cables down here so I never have to look at them. You might notice that my desk setup on top is very clean. This is how it has to be in order for it to be clean on top. But anyway, this is my Yamaha natural sound stereo amplifier. It's the A17. It's very old, but it does get the job done. And what it's sitting on top of is my Zero Acoustics 12-inch woofer. I'll take this cover off so you can see what I'm rolling with. So you got a 12-inch woofer in there, a couple tweeters. And the reason I have this under the desk is because my Mica studio monitors, they've been great, but they are a little lacking in the lows. So I run that big speaker underneath so I can really get some good bass when I want to listen without my headphones on. So, sorry, it is a little hot in here, so if you see some sweat rolling, you know why. I'm kind of going to cheat on this next item. It's not actually a part of the desk setup, but it's definitely a part of my studio setup. So I've got the Alesis Recital Pro. It's an 88 key weighted key keyboard, and it's what I play a lot of things where I need a lot more keys to be able to play them expressively. So on top of that, I also have my MIDI controller of choice. If you guys watch my channel much, you know, you see it in almost every video. It's right here on the desk. That is the CME X-Key Air, my MIDI controller of choice. This is always with me, always on the desk. And if I'm not at home, it's with me in my bag. I'm always using it. So there's that. Now, of course, you've got right here the real brains of the operation. This is the 2018 iPad Pro, the 12.9 inch. This is a 256 gig model. Now you might say, Jahrell, why would you get a 256 gig iPad as a music producer that edits video? And I would say, I couldn't tell you. At the time when I first purchased my iPad, it honestly wasn't so I could become a mobile producer. That came after the fact. So hindsight 2020, I would have got an iPad with much more storage, preferably the 1 terabyte, maybe the 512. That's what I recommend to anybody else that's getting into iPad music production, especially if you're going to be editing videos of any sort. You won't regret having more storage, but that's what I'm rolling with. Right here on the side, next to my iPad, is a really cheap $15 Bluetooth mouse. Ever since iPad OS added mouse support, I've been using a mouse a lot more. On top of the next piece of gear, which is the iPad Pro Magic Keyboard with the trackpad. I use this so much now for everything. It hasn't been as useful as I thought it would be for using Beatmaker 3, for example, but that's just because, you know, Intua hasn't integrated a lot of the gesture support and things like that from the keyboard into the program. But I'm sure that's going to come over time. As the iPad Pro evolves into the machine it will be in the future. So, and then last but not least, I've got a little Sateki Bluetooth media button so that I can pause and play tracks, skip forward, go back, just really quickly while I'm working here. Because the Magic Keyboard is great, but it has no function keys, no media keys. So you either have to use the interface on the iPad or have some sort of external media keys. And I like having the button there. So everything that you saw that requires being plugged in is running straight to my iPad through this cable right here. This is just a USB extension cable that's running underneath the desk, plugged into the hyperdrive hub that I showed you earlier. And then this last piece of gear that I didn't talk about right here is just a regular, I think it's a 7-slot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a 7-slot USB 3.0 hub, and it's a powered hub. And the reason I get a powered hub is if there's anything that the iPad Pro can't handle as far as power for things being plugged into it, I want to make sure I have that power there and available. So that's powered and plugged in underneath the desk. So that is all of the audio gear, but next, I know there's a lot of you creatives out there. You don't just make music, you're into making videos, and I want to share with you guys the video gear I use at my desk setup, since this is a desk setup video. Okay, so the footage you just watched on the audio gear was all shot using my main camera, which is right over here. And a lot of you might not think this would be a normal main camera, but this is what I got. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket. It has been amazing for everything that I use it for, and I'm running a USB extender out of it plugged into, which you can see is my monitor, looking back at me, and it's actually one of those Amazon 10-inch Fire tablets plugged into the Osmo Pocket for monitoring. Right above that is my light. All of this is attached to this computer monitor arm. It's an old arm I had for an old monitor, and I attached everything here so I can easily swivel it and move it. And then this monitor, this Amazon monitor, is just attached to a regular old stand. And then this light up here is actually being run by a camera battery, and I've got a couple of those that get charged right here, right up here. Now this is some really clutch stuff right here. So I got some of my inspiration for this from Henny the Business. Check out his channel, I will link it down below. But this is a TV mount, and what I've done is I've attached a couple things to it. So this right here is the mount that I use to get my overhead shots of my iPad for the videos. And what's usually on this is my iPhone 11 Pro Max, which I am shooting this video with right now. So it's usually mounted right here. And that's my top down. Now, another cool thing is this mount right here is attached to a monopod that I mounted here. And if I unscrew it, I can pull it out. It telescopes about as far as I need it to go. So this is quite out there. And I do that so I can get a really good angle of this screen, because the screen, obviously, when it's on this keyboard like this, is at an angle. It's not flat on the desk, so I got to be able to get a good angle, and that's why I use this. And it's perfect because it just pushes back in, gets out of my way when I'm done. So there you go. Right next to it is actually a microphone arm that I've attached to this, and attached to that arm is the Takstar SGC 598 microphone. I actually just recently got this, so at the time of shooting this video, I have not recorded any videos with this mic. This is the new edition. Hopefully it's going to make my audio sound way better. And that just stays mounted right above me when I'm at the desk. Well, there you have it, you guys. That is my desk setup, both audio and video. If you have any questions about any of the gear, feel free to ask me. Definitely everything I mentioned in this video will be linked down in the description so that you can check out the things that I have and see if you're interested in them for yourself. And as always, creatives, go out there and make something dope, and I will see you in the next video.